Oh, hello, it is me, Militant Ginger, and I'm back again with my buddy Bran, who is wearing the same shirt as last time.
I am. Well, I don't know. I don't think we ever said why I was wearing the same shirt. Like why I wore that shirt last week.
Because you'd coloured it with the blood of your enemies.
Right. It's funny. I call this my Tony shirt because there's a guy who works in my office named Tony, who has a shirt that's like very vibrantly red like this, and he wears it like once a week. And it was like, I think the first time I saw him wear it was like a Spanish holiday, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess Tony is Hispanic, and he's not. He's just happened to be wearing a Matador shirt on some Spanish holiday.
It's funny because I had a beautiful red shirt that I bought from, of all places, Kohl's in November November 2001, my first month in America, and it was my date shirt. Whenever I went on a date, I would wear that shirt.
Red shirt. Is it like a Tiger Woods thing?
I don't know, but it was really odd because this was my date shirt and I didn't even think about it. But it's funny, they always say like a girl will only like jump into bed with you after the third date. What if I wore that shirt? And it was, anyway,
interesting.
Yeah, and red really is not a good colour for me with my red hair and those like red cheeks.
I don't think red is a great colour for anybody. Like this, this is like a very vibrant red. I don't think that's a good, I don't know.
I like it. But anyway, so we are back once again. Yeah. A week later.
Still didn't specify why I'm wearing this shirt.
No, why are you wearing this shirt?
So I wore the shirt because this was like one of the shirts that I was like on the fringe of fitting into. So when we started the whole low carb thing, so then I was like, oh, it'd be fun to like show me progressively fitting into a shirt better throughout the weeks.
That's a really good idea. I guess.
Yeah. I think it does fit a little bit better than last week.
Well,
I don't know, like if it's hard to tell when you're sitting down, but I felt like standing up when I buttoned it, I felt better.
So this is a week from when we started going like low carb, and I don't think either of us has been like super hardcore with it.
No, I think that we've made. I would say I was pretty good with like hovering right below 100 carbs until the weekend. The weekend I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit, but today I got right back on.
Yeah.
It helped that I worked 10 hours in an office.
And I mean,
I'm right here for dinner, so...
I've noticed that I've had a really busy week, and it's funny. It's like, when I get down to it, it's like I'm sitting there doing stuff, and I don't even notice that I'm hungry until...
Well, it's funny because, like, okay, so I do intermittent fasting, and I don't feel the need to, like, explicitly tell people that all the time. Just, like, if it's lunchtime, people are like, oh, do you want to, we're getting a pizza, do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm alright.
No. Part of the whole thing of intermittent fasting
is you have to be like a douche.
It's like being a vegan.
Yeah, you have to tell everybody. Yeah, so like today, I was working on a project with a guy, and I work at an architecture firm, and the principal kept giving us more and more feedback on the set of construction documents, and we had to keep making corrections. And the guy that I was working with was like, "Well, I guess I'm not eating today," and like he like threw his paper, like crumbled a piece of paper, and like threw it in the garbage, and like I was like, "Well, I don't eat before noon, I don't really eat before like 4 o'clock every day, so." But I think it's one of those things that like if you get used to it. Also, I feel like so I would say you drink coffee more religiously than I do. Like I drink coffee every day, but I don't if I miss a day, I don't miss it necessarily. Do you feel like you miss? Are you one of those people that's like, don't talk to me until I've had my caffeine?
I haven't missed 3 days of coffee because I would literally die.
But I'm being serious. Like, do you feel like, okay, so basically people are like, caffeine is a super addictive drug. Do you think that caffeine, in your anecdotal experience, do you feel like caffeine is the more addictive thing, or do you think sugar is the more addictive thing? I think overall sugar is the more addictive thing.
I think it is.
Scientifically, but I'm saying anecdotally, I feel like I can go without caffeine. Like, I don't have this, drive to drink black coffee all the time. Not that I have a drive to drink,
It's interesting you say that, because I have been very lucky that I've never actually had a sweet tooth, because I grew up on a farm, so we ate lots of, protein and vegetables anyway.
Okay.
So I've never had a particularly sweet tooth. Yeah. I will say I need my coffee, and I realise that this is a problem. It's like, I wake up in the morning, and I wake up at, 5 o'clock every day, and I'm just like, oh, Lord, take me now.
Right.
I don't even believe you would take me now.
Yeah.
And then I crawl downstairs and I have my seltzer water and I'm like, okay, I'm vaguely alive now.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I have that first cup of coffee, I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I have about 8 cups of coffee in the morning, but it's literally
8 cups of coffee, 64. You drink half a gallon of coffee every day?
Well, when you said it like that,
You're saying 8 cups, like 8 actual cups, or like 8, like 8 cups is 64 ounces, which is half.
Well, yeah, I guess technically,
you're drinking half a gallon of coffee every day.
Yes,
that's that's like double the amount that they recommend for you.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying, like I don't, there are benefits to drinking black coffee, but I think you're superseding them when you drink that much.
Well, apparently, drinking red wine prevents heart disease, so it ain't gonna be heart
again
disease.
like 1 glass a day. Yeah. I definitely feel better and more alert on my black coffee days than my non-black coffee days.
I enjoy coffee, I'll say that.
Yeah, I would say I do too.
Yeah. And it's funny because I remember one time we ran out of coffee and I said to Tina when she was working nights, please bring some coffee back because I'm not going to be operating. She brought back this huge tub of Folgers. And she was like, we're not going to need coffee for ages. And I just looked at her and I was just like,
little do you know, I drink a gallon.
No, I was just
You're
like...
drinking 3.5 gallons of coffee a week.
It was like the other day that I determined I was not an alcoholic because the only thing we had in the fridge was 3 bottles of cherry wheat beer. And I'm like, I'm not drinking that shit.
You still tried it anyway, though.
I tried one mouthful because I was like, does this actually taste like cherry?
I don't dislike it. You don't want the Sam Adams stuff?
Yeah. No, I mean, I just cannot stand the taste of cherry.
Okay.
So if I was an alcoholic, surely it'd be like, well, I can't stand the taste of cherry, but this is about alcohol, so...
Okay.
I mean, I polished off the rubbing alcohol, but...
I was going to say, there's no nail polish remover in the house.
So, okay, we've gone a week pretty much low carb. How does it affect you? I will say, I noticed that I dropped about half a pound, and to be honest, I didn't have like a huge amount to lose.
Yeah.
In terms of weight, I dropped half a pound, but I will admit, looking in the mirror, I'm just a lot leaner.
Okay.
And I would say you are as well. I mean, Tina said that like a few days after we started this, she was just like, you look leaner.
Yeah, I think Tina just says that to me every once in a while now.
Yeah. So.
I don't mean like, I don't know, I don't feel like, I don't know.
I'll get to reverse that. I'll be like, next time you see Brian, you just be like, you look like, no, what is it to say? It's like, you look healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Zoftig.
I've got this friend called Sarah who worked for the Red Cross in like Africa, and in Africa it's like it's a compliment to say you look fat, so that's like you look well fed.
Yeah. Well, there's the term, Zoftig is the term in Yiddish for like somebody who's not like. Zoftig is like you're like well rounded out, like you've got like you're curvy kind of is like Zoftig.
And my problem is I've always had a thing for like curvy Jewish girls.
I'm surprised you've never encountered the word Zoftig before.
No, I haven't.
Zoftig's like one of my favorite Yiddish words, I think. Because there's no real, like, English... There's no, like, direct English translation. I think I like words like that. Words that are nuanced.
Yeah.
In terms of other languages.
Yiddish is a beautiful language, the way they have, like, the nuances and stuff.
No, it is not. Yiddish is not a beautiful language.
Well, no. Okay.
I would say Hebrew is a beautiful language.
I would say Yiddish is a very evocative language, the way they have these wonderful terms for, like...
Yiddish is exactly like German.
Yeah. Well,
like, I can, like, watching The Office, like, when Dwight speaks German, I can pick up, like, 50% because of Yiddish.
German is an amazing language, because they will, like, assemble words for anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they have words for stuff that you don't have words anywhere else, like schadenfreude. It's like, what is a word for when you take enjoyment in someone else's misfortune? It's like schadenfreude. It's like there is no word that exists.
Right, and I would say that in terms of, I would say Yiddish has that same level of beauty.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about, then I would 100% concur with you.
Years ago, I was in Germany, we were visiting these castles, and the kid I was staying on the German exchange with was like, what is the word in English when you have a knight, and the knight leaves his baron and starts his own castle up there, and then becomes his own like leader, but he's against the knight. There's one word that you have for that. What is that in English? And it's like, we don't have one word for that. We don't have one word for even half of that.
Yeah.
And it's everything in German.
I'm sure there's some zoologist who's like, well, this is what it's called when a gorilla does it.
Yeah. But it's like the German, like bra, for example. Bra comes from brasier in France. Not to be mistaken with the brasier. No, brasier is a bra.
I'd say brassiere is
a
a bra.
There's a really funny joke there that I completely left up. Anyway, German.
Okay.
Boston Holton. Boston Holton.
Bosom holder.
Yeah, Boston Holton.
Yeah.
As in it holds your bust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, I used to work with a Jewish guy who used to say in Yiddish, stop some flopping.
Say it again.
Stop some flopping.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yes. But that's wow. That was a tangent.
We really went on a tangent on that one. Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that I'm leaner. It's weird because I'm in that terrible. You know, you can be like a husky guy and you look good, or you can be a skinny guy and you look good, and there is nothing worse than a guy who's like halfway between that, because it's like,
Yeah.
just like be fat or be nothing. There's nothing worse than like being a thin fat guy, and that's what I am. But I've definitely noticed, like, I sit there and I can see like these abs like
Yeah.
vaguely poking through. They're like, we're here. Give us mercy.
Okay.
But how do you feel overall in terms of like your health and stuff like that?
I feel basically the same. It's been a week, so it's, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, like, I've been kind of intermittent fasting for a year and a half now, so
Yeah.
and I just enjoy it. I mean, I get up in
Yeah.
the morning and
I think it makes it easier
yeah.
because then you don't have to like stop for lunch and like.
It was really Joe Rogan did his podcast, and he had Henry Rollins on for the second time 3 days ago,
Yeah.
and they were talking about it because Joe Rogan for the last 5 months has been intermittent fasting,
Okay.
and Henry Rollins was saying like he didn't mean to, but he got into like
Yeah.
eating one meal a day, and it's kind of a thing that they both said. It just makes you feel good. It just makes you feel alert throughout the day and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I noticed that because I am a morning person. I get up at 5 in the morning, and like for 5 hours I can knock out so much stuff. It's amazing. And then I start to drag, and if I'd had lunch or something like that, I'd be asleep at 2 o'clock. I mean,
Yeah.
it's difficult. I have to get up that early because I get so much work done before the kids get up, because I don't get any work done when the kids are up.
Yeah. I would say in terms of like efficient, like I'm a very efficient person. Like I don't like to waste time on like nonsensical things, or at least I don't like the idea of doing it. I should say that I don't.
What's your Words with Friends score, by the way?
I haven't played Words with Friends in a while, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
damn, you just completely derailed that.
I know. Well, that's the thing is like when I work the overnights, that's basically I play Words with Friends like maybe twice a day, and I'll just go through and like play everybody. But I don't feel the need to like. I think there have been times in my life where I've like played people back, or like sometimes if I'm sitting at the dog park with Tina, I'll play her, like we'll play back and forth. But I mean, for the most part, like I don't, you know.
I literally spent 20 minutes signing the credits for our show that we're never going to use, so I can hardly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there are definitely times that like I've done, you know, I've done stuff like that, and I've done like what you know, I don't want to say useless exercise, but I've kind of spent time mindlessly doing something, or you know. So, but I think I like the idea of efficiency, and I think that like I would much rather, the same way that like when I was a kid, I was like I would much rather not have a snow day and have them give us 3 days back at the end of the year, than like what basically when I was very young, when I was in elementary school, they would take 3 days off at the end of the year. So they'd be like, you didn't use these snow days, we're gonna take this off. But then they were like, well, because of graduation and everything, we're gonna just tack it on to like spring break and Memorial Day. We'll give you a much longer Memorial Day. And I was like, this is bullshit. So then at that point, I was like, I would much rather have the 3 days at the, you know, like I would much rather just go to school and then not have, you know.
That's interesting. That's delayed gratification, which is not something that's like common with kids.
Right. So I think that like, in terms of that, I would much rather, like when I go to work, I can either get out at 2 and take a lunch break. I can either get out at 2 and not take a lunch break, or I can get out at 3 and take a lunch break. I would much rather get out at 2.
Yeah.
Because like, why would I need that hour for lunch? I could just go tack that hour onto something else. You know.
I'm down.
And I feel like getting stuck in traffic is another one of my pet peeves. I would much rather go, like I don't mind getting up early. I get into the office at 7 o'clock. Everybody else gets in at 8. Or like somewhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. I would much prefer to get up an extra hour early and not get stuck in any traffic, and then leave and not get stuck in traffic, than to work like a normal 8-hour day. Like, I'd rather shift my 8 hours earlier. That's just me. But I think intermittent fasting kind of goes with that in terms of not taking a lunch break. It's not efficient too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with intermittent fasting. It's like, to me, I mean, for a start, I was working in this office job, and it's like I would never get my shit together to get lunch ready.
Yeah.
And so I generally go out for lunch, and you'd spend like $5 to $7 on lunch or something. You know, it would take you half an hour and things.
Right.
You do intermittent fasting. I saved so much money. I got so much more work done. I didn't fall asleep after lunch.
Right.
I lost weight. I was just like, this is insane. And there are no downsides to it.
Right.
And I mean, I think now I've got to the stage, now I'm like lean enough where I'll listen to my body. So there are some mornings where I wake up and I'm just like grouchy and I have a headache, so I'll have something to eat and I'll feel better.
Yeah.
But it's just I listen to my body and I just do that. Whereas I think you get trained to be like, you have to have breakfast, you have to have lunch.
I was gonna say, I'm like, honestly, I wake up in the morning, I'm not really hungry. And like, if I am, I'll drink a bottle of water. Like, I would say the way that you feel, the way you described, like, okay, I have to have my coffee in the morning, like, I will drink, excuse me, I will drink like half a liter of like ice cold water, like from the fridge on my way to work. Sometimes I'll have a full liter, I'll bring 2 bottles, or I'll have one while I'm like getting my shoes on and make my coffee and whatnot. And then I'll drink 20 ounces of coffee at the office, and then I'll drink water throughout the day. But I mean, I would say that like after that first like when people are like, oh, I can't drink that much water, like you most certainly can. If you wake up in the morning and you just say, okay, I'm going to drink half 16.9 ounces of water, you can do it very easily. It's you don't even think about it, because you just take a sip and you're so thirsty from the night before that you just drink all of it.
Someone once told me, it's like, okay, you say it's difficult to drink, 16 ounces of water. You don't seem to have a problem with the beer. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
No, totally, yeah.
So I get up in the morning and I put the coffee on. Then I'll go and make a liter of seltzer water and I'll drink the entire thing with like my supplements. And then I'll pour myself a coffee and then go and sit down.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. But my morning ritual is like, it's something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
There's just so much peace to be had when you wake up and everyone else is asleep and you can just...
Right. I was going to say, like, I wish that I had the discipline to go to bed early, because then I think I would probably enjoy getting up more.
Yeah.
But that's just,
But it was tough at first, and now I've just got into the habit of it, and I almost can't get out of it.
Getting up early?
Yeah. Also,
I think also you're drinking half a gallon of coffee, so that helps keep you up.
Also, I'm married to Tina, so like 5 o'clock every morning, it's like, ding, and you're awake.
Yeah, but I mean, Tina also works,
overnight. So.
Works overnight a lot, so.
And I like it. It's kind of nice to be like.
I think there is like an element to that where it's like, because I was always when I was a kid, I was always a morning person. I would get up really early and like kind of just do my own thing for a couple hours, and then my parents would get up and I'd be like, oh fuck. But yeah,
I'm like that. I get up in the morning and I sit there and I like this morning I was so productive, and then you get the kids coming down. It's like I love the kids and it was great. We had a fantastic morning this morning, but it was still a case of like, okay, I'm not going to be able to carry on with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, but so this is the first week. We've got 3 more weeks to go.
Yep.
Pretty interesting. And I mean, after it, we had dinner tonight. It was like chicken. It was cauliflower.
Yeah. I've been enjoying the food.
Yeah.
I think you enjoy your food more when you do like a low carb thing, because I think you make such an effort to like make whatever is in your like parameters of what you can eat, whatever parameters you're setting for yourself, you feel like I need to make the most of this. So then you make this extremely good, like there's no, like I think, I was thinking about it today. Like today I got out 2 hours later than I normally do. I mean 2 hours plus, later than I normally do, and I was thinking like today probably would have been a day where I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stop and get fast food. But I didn't because I was like, okay, well, you know what, I've done the low carb thing, and like, you know, I called you right when I left the office, and I was like, all right, I'll pick up some wine, and you know, you're like, oh, we got plenty of dinner, and I was like, all right, perfect, I'll pick up wine. So I think there's like things to kind of keep you on track, and there's things that.
And it was a good dinner.
No, it was a fantastic dinner, 100%.
And it was nice because I almost think it's funny. I think when you don't go, there's like a casualness to dinner, and I'd feed the kids in front of the TV on the couch and stuff, and there was something kind of nice about the fact that you make it a ritual when you all sit down together, and I don't know, it's you're right. It's kind of like you appreciate everything more.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even last night when I had dinner by myself, I made salmon and cauliflower rice, and like, I think that is like, you know, that was like very, you know, very seasoned and very tasty.
and it's, I like my beer, and it's like when you want me to make videos and stuff, you provide me beer too.
Right.
And I'm like, it's nice, but I realise I end up drinking just a ton of beer, and it's kind of.
That being said, I definitely look forward to kind of our break from like after 4 weeks when we go back to doing beer videos. I think we should do like a month of beer videos and then go back to doing low carb stuff.
Yep.
Mostly because I just want to film a shit ton of pumpkin flavored beer videos and then post them.
I'm down for that. It's funny because like I'm looking forward to when I get paid for my book sales. It's like we're going to go out for dinner. We're going to have like the biggest steak and a big bottle of red wine, cocktails, and I am looking forward to beer. So yeah.
Yeah, because I always feel like when I go on a moratorium from beer, that first beer is like, oh my god.
I don't think it's the alcohol. To me, it's the sugar and the malts. It's just the perfect combination.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like after a hard day, having a beer is just like boom.
Yeah, agreed.
It's funny. We had that last hobo ale in the Lord Hobo ale in the and before we went on this, I tried to drink it, and I made a filter out of kitchen roll. Yeah. And I like poured it to get all of the sludge out and stuff like that. And I took one sip and I was just like, threw it away.
Okay.
There we go. That's interesting anecdote. Anyway, so I think we've wrapped up this, but look, so, okay, so how much did you lose, or did you lose?
I lost like 5 pounds this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, but like I said to you the other day, like I think that I was just bloated. I think I was bloated because the night before we weighed ourselves, we had fight night here, and I kind of ate pretty crappy that night. So I think that night I kind of like padded my numbers a little bit. So I mean, we'll see if I lose another. I guess my goal would be to lose like 3 pounds this week.
Yeah.
So to get down to like 226, 227, I guess.
And it's like, and I lost half a pound, but it's one of those weird things. It's like I lost half a pound, but then I gained it, lost it, gained it, lost it. But I definitely feel leaner. And I mean, because we went out to the Bogart bar, and the first thing Carl was just like, "You're wasting away." And I'm like,
yeah.
Admittedly, he might have had an ulterior motive in saying that.
Right.
But I'll take it. Any compliment. Anyway, okay. So, cheers. What are we drinking, by the way?
Talisker.
Talisker. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
The latest novel features it. So,
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, cheerio. Thank you for joining us, and we will join you again next week if you don't see me before then, and that's about it.
Yep.